Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. And I want to thank our witnesses for being here today. I am very interested in learning about our medical supply chains, especially in the biotechnology space. New Jersey has a thriving biotech industry for both brand name and generic drugs. I've been pleased to see several companies make investments in the Garden State. These include Ferring, Roche Diagnostics, Amneal, Novartis, and BeOne Medicines, amongst others. I'm also a member of both the Energy and Commerce Committee as well as the House Foreign Affairs Committee. And in that committee, we are working on legislation to reauthorize the State Department. I look forward to learning if I can use that work to build resilience and transparency in our medical supply chains. Mr. Boland, the MedSpa case that you cited in your testimony involved active pharmaceutical ingredients sourced from an unregulated international online supplier. What challenges does NAPB face in tracking and preventing the importation of counterfeit or substandard APIs or GLP-1 drugs? And what can Congress and the U.S. government do to strengthen international partnerships, such as with customs agencies, or to better address this issue?
Sure. Thank you for the question, Congressman. So on the issue of med spas, I'll say first, there are legitimate operators that do things the right way and compound correctly, but our members are seeing that most of the scary and egregious things that are happening in these largely unregulated facilities. So you have instances where you have unlicensed practitioners that are never inspected, are setting things up in their homes or, scarily in their bathtubs. And frankly, a lot of the boards of pharmacy actually lack the jurisdiction to go in and inspect these facilities. So they will at times have to work with the Board of Nursing or work with the medical board or refer to the Attorney General's office. So from a congressional perspective, I think any sort of visibility Congress can continue to shine on this issue will help because there are, we believe, thousands of these locations that will never see a regulator come in the door. And so when you think about them obtaining this API from unregistered sources, like that's really, really scary when you think that people are injecting these things into their body. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Cashman, my district has a number of pharmaceutical manufacturers, both the brand name and generics space. Can you speak to the challenges you have faced operating domestically? And additionally, what can Congress do to ensure that the companies that are choosing to do manufacturing domestically can continue to do so?
Thank you, Congressman. Great question. I think, I talked about the issue of prices before. Mm-hmm. And I just want to emphasize the difference in prices between us and many other foreign generic suppliers is not very big. It's somewhere between 10 and 20% in many cases. And in a few cases in government contracts where we've checked that, we can actually offer better prices than the government paid through their government contracting suppliers. So we could do better on some of the prices, but we have lost business for 10 cents a bottle in the commercial side. So that's very challenging. But I think one of the things that would definitely help everyone, I think, in the generic industry have more stability and have the ability to have long-term contracts, which will allow us to plan our capital and expansion and scale up businesses in an efficient way.
Thank you. Dr. Pierre-Vincenzi and Mr. Murphy, the FDA recently announced its plans to expand the use of unannounced inspections at foreign manufacturing facilities. Can you explain how this policy change will impact efforts to increase supply chain resilience and even domestic manufacturing?
So thank you for that question, Mr. Kean. Actually, I think there are net positives in the ability to ensure that FDA has the flexibility to get into facilities overseas and provide the public with assurances of the safety of the medicine supply chain. So, I think we look forward to working with the agency to try and expand inspection capacity both domestically and overseas to help ensure that we have a stable flow of medicines that come into patients.
Thank you. Doctor?
Yes, thank you for that question. Very much like FDA, USP set up facilities with teams in India and in China for specifically that purpose, which is risk-based approach to all assurance of quality medicines, you have to show up where you think the risks are, and you've got to have enough resources. Otherwise, you're just inspecting in your backyard, and that is not only not effective, but it's actually not fair to domestic manufacturers.
Thank you to all the panel of witnesses. I yield back.